Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Shadow and Sun show, and welcome back to another Arduin review. Today, I'll be reviewing Arduin Grimoire number 8, Winds of Chance. Let's get right into it. Of course, it starts with a sad reminder of the passing of David A Hargrave, a sort of somber note to begin the book with. But all in all, this is a really good book, especially for clerics and cleric players, dungeon masters who need help with the gods of their world and things like that. But let's get right on to the table of contents. The first chapter is the Plateau. Well, there's actually a little bit of information before the Plateau of Forever. But the Plateau of Forever is the entranceway into Arduin, a mesa with various gates leading to and from other game worlds, where once you walk through the gate, you are in Arduin, and after a couple of fees and some bureaucratic paperwork and what have you, you are on to the world of Arduin. Then there's a little bonus racial and professional skill and modifiers to the characters, just a one-time little thing to add just a little bit more personality and benefits to the characters. Then some optional skills for Amazons, dwarves, hobbits, orcs, elves, that sort of thing. Then a personal look at the Thieves of Arduin, a rogues gallery of some of the more famous thieves that you can incorporate into your Arduin game or your regular game as you need it. Then a little snippet here, more street urchin gangs of Arduin. And then, of course, the illegal drugs of Arduin, which, of course, drugs are bad. But if you need drugs for the bad guys to be addicted to, or to be smuggling or something like that, you've got a little couple of pages here on that sort of thing. And another way to use it would be instead of poisoning your player characters, you could slip them a Mickey of one of half a dozen different concoctions that'll knock them out of the game for a while, or do something weird to them. Then there's a nice little chapter here on real world and its deadly creatures, everything from Black Widows to Gila monsters. Just a really in-depth analysis of creatures of Earth that can really, take you out in a heartbeat. Then a chapter of notable personages of the Arduin campaign from various NPCs that were, I do believe, actual player characters from the old days of Arduin that you can, resurrect and bring into your world and, give them a little cameo here and there. Then a chapter I wasn't really 100% on board with was the new character class, the Dreamweaver. I think it's best left as an NPC in lieu of a sage or, some wizard that you can get information from. Here's a character class that gains most of its abilities from taking a nap and exploring the dream world. I thought it was a little too 60s for me, but there's a large number of them, and any one of them would make for a great guest appearance. Then the Arduin martial arts, which I really loved. Unarmed combat based on race, just to give your players just a little bit of an extra edge when they've been captured or tied up and have lost their weapons, or even in a bar fight. I was just reading a book recently where the main character in 153 pages was captured, tied up, and thrown in one dungeon or situation or another, disarmed, and had to creatively find a way to escape the situation as opposed to fall on their swords and refuse to be captured, which I think is just a bit of a drag, letting your character die as opposed to being taken captive. You're going to get experience points for doing so, as opposed to taking up everybody's time because you have to make up a new character or make up a new party because everybody was killed, as opposed to being taken prisoner, live to fight another day, that sort of thing. Then there was the Hierarchy of the Black Lotus Society, another really nice cult of bad guys to throw at your party, with a full list of the leaders of various parts of Arduin that all are embroiled in this cult. I actually really enjoyed that chapter. Then there was another chapter of new characters for use in your own world, more former player characters that get to make yet another cameo appearance. And then the notable houses of Arduin, and unless you're actually going to run Arduin, you could probably skip this chapter. But if you are, which I absolutely plan on running an Arduin campaign as soon as possible, probably after the summer though, just more flavor and history of the world that is Arduin, and that's why we're here, right, folks? Then the gods of Arduin, the triune moon cults, another great cult, but more dealing with the particular religion that is the moon cult. Then the principal, major, and minor religious cults and sects of Arduin. For those players, or excuse me, dungeon masters, or even players that are looking for something new that's not, Norse or Greek or, some ripoff of an Earth religion or pantheon, there's a whole bunch of ideas here. Some are based on Earth equivalents, but, a nice little chapter to help the dungeon master out to come up with, reasons why you're running a cleric. And I think that's one of the big reasons why clerics aren't as popular as they really should be, because the dungeon masters just haven't done the homework and come up with their own pantheon or pantheons of gods or, religions of their world. And I really think, you guys need those healers. You need that cure light wounds. At the beginning of the campaign, that's really what keeps you guys going. Without it, it's just a matter of time before the entire party is dead. Then there's a spotlight on the Arduin religion, the Church of Him. I thought it was kind of humorous, but you guys can take it or leave it as you like. And then minions and sendings of the gods, which I really like. Instead of just the generic angel or demon coming down to punish you or guide you, there were kind of a good dozen or so different things that the gods can send at you or for you. Then there's the Brotherhood of Blood, yet another cult to throw at the parties, bad guys, that are more organized, and I really like that, whether it be a guild or a cult, a group that the party has to, really outthink and outmaneuver, not just outfight, encounter after encounter. This way they can really, plot a strategy and find a way to really, sock it to them. Then there, of course, is the new Arduin Magic chapter, which there's always a nice little chunk of spells from Mage, Illusionist, Druid, Priestly, Rune Singer. But, not too many to bog you down. I was trying to read some of the old spells from the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and I have the spell compendiums, and I can only read so much of that before they just start to run together. And a nice little chapter on magic artifacts, which were some of my all-time favorite aspects of Arduin. Then a neat little goof, I guess it is. If you see the cover of the book, it's basically a xenomorph Arduin style, and it's actually called the Ripley, after a certain character from a certain movie about a certain kind of alien that we're all quite familiar with, but the Arduin equivalent. And then, of course, my favorite piece of artwork, a really nice dragon encounter, as it were. It's clearly, obviously, my favorite piece of artwork in the whole book. Let's make sure you get a really good look at that, because the Arduin artwork is phenomenal, and I hear there are literally thousands of pieces coming to us in the course of the next couple of years. And then I believe the last chapter is more unique culinary wonders from Arduin, more foodstuffs for your player characters to get them back on the road and fill their stomachs with something that you wouldn't eat in a million years. But, you know, a fun little chapter just to make, you know, those tavern and inn or you know, town or village, you know, meals just a little bit more interesting, let's say. But all in all, this is definitely in my top 3 favorite books of the trilogy, not including the first 3 because those are just pure gold every single page. But there you have it, folks. Arduin Volume 8. Make sure you get all 8. Actually, get all 9, but I'll be doing 9 next week, and that'll be the end of this part of the series. And then I'll be moving on to some other Arduin stuff. But until next time, folks, have a great weekend. We love you guys. I hope to see you guys all over at Tenkar's Tavern at 5 o'clock avocado time. The chat is always great. Tonight's topic is going to be humorous, to say the least. It's going to be a very, very fun night, and I'm looking forward to it right after burgers because, you know, it's Friday, and Friday is burger night for us. I hope you guys enjoy your meal, enjoy the enjoy the show, and make sure you leave your comments in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that like button on your way out. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.